In a Montessori preschool, language development is one of the 4 key areas. Starting as early as in the toddler program, we proactively work to develop our students' vocabulary with explicit instruction and through a number of fun games. Dr. Montessori discovered that young children go through certain sensitive periods. The sensitive period for language starts early. 3-year-olds are fascinated with the sounds of language, the feeling of touching a letter, the movement of forming a letter. They have an absorbent mind and learn vocabulary, big words, much more easily than later on in elementary school. They love repetition, which is critical in learning to read and write. In the right, carefully prepared environment and with the right materials, most preschoolers will eagerly learn to read and write, often long before they enter first grade or even kindergarten. From the earliest ages, our students learn to listen carefully. Here, toddlers name objects and isolate the beginning sound. Here, 3- and 4-year-olds play I Spy with sounds. Sound games teach that words are made up out of sounds, which later get associated with the written symbol, the letters. Montessori students also work on developing vocabulary. For example, this very young girl learns the names of vegetables and matches objects to pictures. Many of the practical life exercises serve to strengthen the hand. They work on the 3-finger grip and improve fine motor skills necessary for writing. The sensorial exercises help students recognize shapes, from circles to leaves. Children also learn a light touch, critical to writing. They learn how to listen carefully, with sustained, concentrated attention. Once a student is ready, we introduce her to the 3 key materials for learning to write and read. With the sandpaper letters, a child learns to associate the sound with a letter shape. Building upon the sound games, the teacher introduces the child to a letter at a time. She guides her to carefully trace the letter with her 2 working fingers. This exercise separates learning the motor movement of forming the letter from the challenging task of holding a pencil. As a next step, the child practices the same letter, maybe first in the air, then on a small chalkboard. Over time, students as young as 4.5 to 5 learn to write beautiful cursive letters. And whenever they have forgotten how to form a letter, they can easily go back and quickly trace them again. Let's just erase. With the movable alphabet, students begin to build words, in effect writing before they can handwrite. They start out simply, with words such as map or net, but quickly progress to longer words of their own choosing. They use modified movable alphabets to learn phonograms. Later on, they progress to smaller alphabets and write entire stories with the movable letters, stories they then can copy onto paper. By separating the building of words from the forming of letters, we enable young children to be writers in the true sense of the word, being able to communicate ideas in print. With the metal insets, the child learns to ever more carefully and accurately control a pencil. First, students trace the inside of a shape with a colored pencil. Next, they attempt to trace the outside with another color. Finally, they fill in the resulting shape with careful parallel lines. Over time, the designs get more sophisticated, and students delight in producing elaborate art of the inset.
Yeah, are we ready to print it out?
After this careful preparation, many children in Montessori classrooms suddenly explode into reading and writing. This young boy hadn't read at all 2 weeks ago. Now he breezes through book after book. Once children have truly understood that words are made of sounds, and sounds can be represented by letters, they are off running. A good Montessori school builds upon that foundation and systematically develops children's skills. While our students often start reading books at this point, we continue to offer many different materials to practice reading. Here, a child labels objects with little cards. Another one labels cards with pictures. Yet another one labels the animals on our little farm. Here, a girl just reads a large quantity of simple words. This boy is reading and acting out simple command cards. Things like hop. This girl is doing the same with more complex ones. Instead of being forced to sit still and complete monotonous worksheets, our students have fun with their language activities. By systematically teaching our students the multi-letter combinations that can stand for single sounds in the English language, we quickly expand the range of texts they can read independently. Here, the child is working on building phonogram words with a special movable alphabet, where the phonograms being practiced stand out by their color. Children also read mixed phonogram cards and write down their work in cursive. Here, a boy is reading phonogram booklets, isolating all the different ways the sound I can be written in English. At this point, we also introduce puzzle words, high-frequency words with irregular spelling that children need to learn to recognize to become fluent readers. Once our students have a solid grounding in reading and writing, we keep challenging them. Here, 2 students are working on learning about articles, adjectives, and nouns, again using hands-on materials and moving about the classroom. The large black triangle symbolizes a noun, the medium-sized dark blue one an adjective, the small light blue one an article. Here, students are building sentences using a smaller movable alphabet and documenting their work in handwriting. Here, the student differentiates between singular and plural. And another one works on differentiating past and present tense. Here, a girl is learning about definite and indefinite articles. Here, another one studies homophones. Our students also apply their budding reading and writing skills to learn about the world around them. They read and write about a wide range of subjects, from botany to zoology, from geography to anatomy and history. By the time our students complete the 3-year Montessori cycle, most are capable readers. They joyfully write stories, usually in cursive. This is what a great early childhood education can and should do. Listen to them as they read out loud and see for yourself.
Now hug and Pip do not hit the end. Saw I see corn in this garden, said LePort. The brain connects spinal cord and helps us to think, feel, see, hear, taste, smell, controls our body. There was nothing for Jonathan to do but to turn and go back. How silly I am, he said to himself. How silly I am.